Monday, I had taken almost an entire week off to spend some time with my family. So I spent Monday resting, catching up with a friend, and trying to get organized for the week. I was really trying to go back into working how I had been for the past few months, but I could feel that something wasn't right. I was feeling really disoriented and frustrated. I could feel that something needed to change, but that day I wasn't exactly sure what that was. So in completely open solar plexus style, I tried to ignore it and tried to kind of keep working and just assume that I could probably keep going the next day the way that I had been working. In the end, it turned out I needed to have a full-blown Scorpio season shedding and identity upgrade, which is what this vlog is going to be about. I started to do some journaling, try to figure out what was going on, decided it would be probably good to figure out how to grow into this future self, even though I had no idea how to do that. And then I just felt really tired, decided to call it a day, and went to bed. By Tuesday morning, it was clear that it was time to do a major consciousness expansion. I decided I needed to just trust the process, even though I was feeling pretty panicky, and got out Juliet C. Oboto's journal prompts and subliminal recordings for embodying the future self. This is something I already had, so I'll link that below, though I had never really done it before. I also decided to meditate this week a little bit every day because when it feels like I've exhausted all my actions and resources in the three-dimensional world, it's usually time to go inside and start sourcing some new energy. So I wasn't feeling 100% sure about this plan, but it felt like where my energy wanted to go. It felt like something that was a yes to me, so I decided to go for it. So right now I'm gonna go run an errand and get some ingredients for a soup that I've been wanting to make that I forgot to get the other day. And yeah, I can really just feel my life force returning, and I just feel much more excited about life, which really has not been the case maybe for the last couple weeks. So I'm gonna go run that errand. Is hopefully the final version of my spread cloths. These are the new silk spread cloths I have been working on for the past few months. Taken a lot of tweaks with the design, which is just something I've learned about product design, is until you see it, you just don't quite know. So, okay, yes, I'm very happy with this. I added a little bit more space around the border. I'm gonna do two sizes. This is the smaller size, this is the bigger size. I used the bigger one today when I did tarot, and so it's definitely good for like spreads. Yeah, that looks much more luxe. This is Go Deep right there. That's what it's gonna be called, is the Go Deep spread cloth or altar cloth. So, okay, these can go out in the next couple of weeks. I had to check out the transits with my human design chart because I felt weird that day. And indeed, I had both the heart defined and the throat defined, which I usually don't have. So when that happens, I just usually feel super restless. If you're ever feeling weird and want to check out your transits, I recommend doing that on geneticmatrix.com. I'll put a link below. That evening, I made a massive batch of soup, and then I could just feel that I really needed to rest. This subconscious work was already working, and I was honestly just feeling really exhausted. So I decided to just relax for the rest of the night, pack and send some Oracle deck orders, and then go to bed. Then I was going to try to get back to all of my doing in my business, getting back to my to-do list. And as I thought about doing those tasks, I just realized this is not the week for that.
This inner work, this subconscious work is way more important. And what I really needed to do was stay in that meditative state until the right inspiration and response came to me. But instead, I kind of tried to push ahead and photograph the sweatshirts that I'm releasing soon. The process ended up being kind of frustrating, but being a 3-line person, I'm a 1-3 profile. Giving this a go for the first time and seeing what worked and what didn't was probably necessary for me, but I finished the whole thing just feeling really exhausted.
After my first attempt at shooting those sweatshirts this afternoon, I honestly just got really tired and have basically been lying here all night. I was trying to think about why, and really I think that this week I decided to become really intentional, like I mentioned, about envisioning and creating my future self. And for a long time I didn't really understand that concept, but all of a sudden it became clear. I've just been making this big transition in the past few months from like a teacher type archetype in my business, someone who was sharing a lot of information because that's what I wanted to do. But now I feel like I've shared all the information that I needed to package in that way, and it's out there. And the really interesting thing about human design is that while I guess my business was started talking about human design, the consequences of actually living my design and going on that journey and that experiment, teaching and learning, is that I have actually become like a different person. Like I have become more my true self, which is definitely more of an artist or creator type person. So yeah, really, I think just focusing on creating that future self and meditating this week and writing about it and scripting it and really working on that subconscious mindset shift. I honestly just think it's tiring me out, and I feel like I'm already seeing the results, which is so interesting, because sometimes when you do these things it's hard to know if anything's actually changing. This week I told myself that I was gonna stop just getting up and doing tasks to make things happen, because I could tell that the universe was giving me diminishing returns on that kind of energy usage, even though that was something that I really needed to do for a long time. But I've gotten to a place where I've mastered that part of my existence of living in this time, freedom, and creative space. I needed that, but now that I have that established, I can move on to other things. And with that kind of stuff, it's so easy to see the returns on that. Like they're much more logical and they make sense when you get up and you're like, now I'm gonna make this and post it, and then I'm gonna sell this thing, or then I'm gonna create this, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna check this thing off my list. But with this other stuff, this mindset work, subconscious work, it's subconscious. Your mind doesn't really comprehend it, so I feel like you're not doing anything. But I feel like I'm already changing so much just in the past few days that honestly it's just like tired me out. And even if I look at my to-do list, I didn't get a lot done the last couple of days, but I can already tell that I accomplished a lot on a different level. So I'm just giving myself the freedom and the grace tonight to lie here and be tired and know that I did a lot already, just on a different level, and that there's just so many levels to being a human being. And yeah, weirdly, as we decondition sometimes, the direction that we think we need to go in is not actually who we are. And as a 3-line person, every thing that I go through is what I have to be in that moment. So it's not like any of it was a lie. It was just maybe not the final destination, if that even exists. So I'm going to get some rest, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, I had some lunch. I got my hair washing all done. And honestly, I started to feel a little bit panicky about what I'm doing and overwhelmed by operating this new way and all these things I'm trying to launch and get out there, and these products and taking photos. And yeah, Basically, I feel like for generators, shifting our energy into new things is just hard. It's probably the hardest for us out of all of the types because we don't have that direct manifestation ability like a manifesting generator, and yet we still have this consistent sacral energy that's trying to go somewhere. So I always describe it as like a train that we're trying to get onto another track, and it's just very set on heading in the direction where it's already been, and I can definitely feel that today. So when this happens, I know that I need to tune into my inner guidance and feel into where that energy wants to go step by step right now, and also just what I need to do to change my mindset. And right now I'm feeling like I need to slow down, do some journaling. I did not meditate this morning. Gonna do that, and then just get into this process of taking photos of these sweatshirts in a way that feels really fun and light and natural. What I did yesterday was a good trial. It can just be really scary to make a shift in how we're using our energy, but I know we need to do this, and when I connect to what's going on inside, I can feel it saying, don't panic, don't go back to the old ways out of safety, continue in this direction, make the shift. And honestly, even just this week of really focusing on my mindset, doing these subliminals, doing this journaling on my future self, I can already feel the change so much. Like I'm becoming a different person. It's really interesting to watch what actions I'm taking as a result of that, which is really how it should be. It's like we're intuitively and through our inner guidance as generators and manifesting generators taking action, our mind is watching it because our mind isn't deciding what we're doing. Yeah, it's been really exhausting and wonderful to see how much this has shifted this week, and I am just gonna keep going on putting these new creations out there, even though I'm nervous, even though it feels weird and vulnerable and all of that. It's just, I need to keep going because I'm becoming this different person on a deeper level. So yeah, I'm gonna go meditate, journal a bit maybe, but actually I think like right after the meditation I have some ideas on how I want to take these photos in a way that feels good of the sweatshirts, and yeah, move forward.
Also last night, as an example of these actions that are just coming out of nowhere, for some reason I felt like I had to unfollow everyone on Instagram that I either didn't have a close personal relationship with or wasn't someone who I felt was inspiring to me in like my next level that I'm going to. So I did that and it feels good. Yeah, I just gotta trust the process here, I guess.
Hi everyone, so we have made it to Friday. It's, oh my god, it's 4:15. I woke up still feeling a little bit panicky and anxious just about this shift that I'm making, and so I decided I'm going straight to journaling and subliminals and just going to always start there when I'm feeling that way and then see what happens afterwards, because I am seeing these really big shifts from doing that every day. And right after, I got a big epiphany about the next move to make in my business. I felt really expansive. I felt like these ideas were landing so much better than they were at the beginning of the week. That now when I feel myself going to that negative place, I can recenter myself and reaffirm where I'm going, and it actually lands. It doesn't feel like there's as much cognitive dissonance there. This isn't to say that all of these things will change in a matter of a few days. For me to really make this shift over the next couple months, just showing up every day with that in mind and really believing deeply that I can do this and that this is the direction my energy wants to go and I can trust that and that it's supported by the universe. So yeah, it's gonna be something that I need to keep reinforcing for myself, but I feel like this is such a good start. I plan to continue this future self scripting thing and these subliminals until I think it's like December 22nd. So I really feel like there's gonna be huge shifts until then. I'm just feeling this wave of new paradigm Aquarian energy coming in. I'm seeing it all around me. I'm seeing it in so many people in my life. So as always, this is a very epic time to be alive. So I'm gonna end the vlog here. I'm probably just gonna do a few more things like pack up some wholesale oracle deck orders. So thank you for coming with me on this journey of a week of somewhat chaotic and intense Scorpio season transformation. And I'll see you next time.
Me and my girl, we do cardio. Up down like Mario.